Welcome to the Sports Bros Podcast, featuring the almighty B-Live, the money man Scottie D, and your host, the head of creative Eddy. The Sports Bros Podcast, by the fan, for the fan, talking sports just the way you like it. And without any further ado, let's give it up for the Sports Bros. It's that time again for your favorite sports podcast, none other than the Sports Bros Podcast. We're back with another episode. It's action-packed. There's a whole lot going on. I'm trying to talk today without stuttering and mixing up my words. I go by the name of Eddy Cool, a.k.a. the HOC, here at this thing called the Sports Bros Podcast. But I don't do this by myself. I do it with two of the best co-hosts in the world. Introducing first, the almighty B-Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? This was a jam-packed weekend, so much that even your boy couldn't fit it all in. That's what is the beauty that is called the Sports Bros Podcast. I got some things that I watched. Scottie D got some things that he watched. Eddy Cool got some things that he watched when he's not working all the time. But you know what? That's what we're about to talk about. We're going to actually I'm going to try this week. I'm going to try to not pick on Scottie D and see if we can have a seamless, peaceful, no, it ain't going to happen. Just go ahead and introduce the other guy. I'm pretty sure there's going to be jokes and spaghetti. But yeah, go ahead and introduce the other guy. Let him sing a song for us.
You know we're going to sing. You know he's going to do it. And speaking of, here he is. Yeah. And speaking of the other guy, he is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania, the assistant athletic director at the Trinity High School. He is the one, the only, the money man, Scottie D.
Doing the butt. Hi, sexy. Ain't nothing wrong if you want to do the butt all night long in the end zone. Yeah, baby. We got we went from butt fumble to the butt punt. How about ya? Big weekend in the NFL. Hey, sexy. Man. Interesting times in the NFL when you're blocking punts with your derriere.
You almost be like about Scottie D, and I did not see that coming up. Man, look.
I wasn't ready. At all, for real.
Oh, I'm crying.
Oh, you stupid.
Oh, God.
The song of the day.
Yes. Mark Sanchez.
Move over, Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
And what was the guy's name that got hit? Oh, I forget his name already. He said he's got a W tattooed on his cheeks after this weekend, so he was deflecting the fact that he got a butt in the butt, a punt in the butt, a butt punt, and they won the game.
Jordan got a big old butt. Oh yeah, she got a big old butt. Oh yeah, that gal got a big old butt.
Is it bad that oh my goodness, punters they got strong legs. That
had to hurt a little bit.
It had to. Ooh, boy,
but that was one of the highlights of what was probably the game of the weekend, guys. And there were many games to talk about, Eddy Cool. So let's start you and let's dive into some NFL talk here.
All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop, not kick into the top of the order. All right, let's get this thing started. Here it is, the top of the order. Well, we had a meltdown, a butt fumble, somebody tiptoeing back in the end zone and causing a safety. And a lot of lopsidedness going on this weekend, too. How about them Jaguars, that being said? Question for you, fellas. All right, here we go. For better or for worse, what team's record is the most surprising right now? Scottie D, what say you?
You know, we're down to, well, we're recording before Monday Night Football where the Giants are 2-0 as we are talking, but we're down to just or other than them, two other teams, right? Three teams that are undefeated. The Eagles, the Dolphins.
That's it.
That's it. I gotta say, I'm a little bit surprised that the 3-0 isn't the Bills, because the way they came out of the gate, I was not expecting. I was expecting Miami to improve this year, but not to be 3-0 out of the gate. I thought that this game, I guess this game kind of answered the question for me, because I was not expecting the Bills to be to lose this game, because I thought they were firing on all cylinders early in the season, healthy, looked unbeatable in the first couple weeks, and their offense kind of got slowed down. They made some mistakes in this game. They had an opportunity even late in the game to come back and win the game, or at least tie the game. Ran out of time. And that hurts as a Cowboy fan. That's how my season ended last year, watching guys at the line of scrimmage without getting a snap off. And that's how Buffalo had their game conclude on Sunday. I was a little bit surprised that they didn't have a better showing. What they scored? Well, not counting the gift safety, was it? They scored 17 points, 19 points, whatever it was.
19. 19.
Yep.
19. Right. So that game was a little surprising to me and lead me to the surprise. I was not expecting Miami to be 3-0. I thought they were going to, they have a new head coach. I wasn't completely sold on Tua. He's having to mesh with new wide receivers, and they look pretty good. I mean, Miami, I guess that's probably my surprise that they're 3-0 at this point. I mean, it's early. It's a small sample size, but if we're talking about, was I expecting that team? I was more expecting the Chiefs to be 3-0, especially because the Colts, I was expecting to be better and look so bad in the first 2 weeks. And then they go and get a win against Kansas City. Kansas City just seemingly off all day on Sunday. Yeah, Kelsey dropping an important touchdown late. Field goal kicker hurt, backup kicker missing kicks on like a perfect surface. You're in Indianapolis. That's, you're not dealing with the elements there. So I think I'm a little bit surprised that Kansas City's 2-1, and I'm surprised because they looked very good to me early too. But the Dolphins being 3-0, that's probably my answer. How about you, B-Lav?
I'm going to go a different direction with this. But yes, I'm equally as surprised that the Dolphins are 3-0. They beat the Bills and the Ravens to get to 3-0. I mean, not only one of the last undefeated teams, they've also beat very good
teams. Yeah, and the Ravens game on the road, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but the team that really surprises me is on the other side of the spectrum. I'm gonna start off with a dollar figure. $68 million they spent to bulk up that offensive line. Because that was the weakness. And all they've done is give up sack after sack after sack after sack after sack after sack after sack. And they've lost to the likes of Mitch Trubisky, Cooper Rush, and they got it together against Joe Flacco to be now 1-2. But Cincinnati, I mean, this was like, you got the talent, but your offensive line somehow got worse. And it ain't going to get any easier because, as we just mentioned, you get to travel. You get to face the Dolphins next week. And then right after that, they get the Baltimore Ravens.
It's not getting easier.
It is not getting any easier whatsoever. I thought Cincinnati would do so. Here's the thing. The Super Bowl hangover is a thing. Ask any Carolina Panther out there. We know about the Super Bowl hangover. We've still not been the same since 2015. It is what it is. But especially the year after, man, I don't know. Like, it's clearly the offensive line, but it also seems like Joe Burrow would also know how to compensate for that. And they did. But again, it's the Jets. Can they find that magic against the Dolphins? Can they find the magic against the Ravens? Those two teams, not necessarily known for their defensive prowess, but man, we know both of those teams can score the ball. And one thing we haven't seen is the Bengals score the ball with easily could be known as the best receiving core in all of the NFL. Just haven't seen it. I know T. Higgins has been hurt a little bit, but have y'all heard a single thing from Jamar Chase?
He caught one yesterday. He caught a touchdown yesterday.
He caught a touchdown. I haven't heard his name all season.
No.
Well, and in the game against Pittsburgh, he should have had a touchdown that they didn't call, and if they challenged, he would have had another one in that situation.
Right.
I think he had a decent game against the Steelers opening day, but against the Cowboys he was pretty silent. But you're right. I'm trying to find out. Do we know was Flacco or was Joe Burrow sacked again in this game? Did he get roughed up against the Jets? I'm trying to look right now to see, because you make a good point about that. We thought that would be the utmost important for that team coming into the season.
He had a clean game, 23 or 36. He got
sacked twice. Okay.
Twice.
So
okay. So
a little bit better.
Yeah.
But they have to keep it. If they want to reverse the early season trend, they got to protect him. You're on the money with that one.
Yeah. That Cincinnati get it together. Do better. Eddie Cool, what's your surprise? What has stood out to you after 3 weeks?
It's two teams in the state of Florida. All right. The two teams in the state of Florida, the Jaguars and the Dolphins. Because I sat right here on the same podcast last week and I said, I think the Dolphins are gonna lose. I think the Dolphins is gonna be an end season. They're gonna hit that wall in Buffalo, and then that's gonna be it. I was wrong. Wrong. I was wrong going into the game. Buffalo, well, people know it or not, Buffalo, they're dealing with injuries, especially in the secondary. They lost all-pro Micah Hyde for the season with a neck injury. They got some more injuries. They got to battle up on the back end of on the secondary. And then the defensive linemen, when they played Monday night against the Titans, they had backups in there. So they're still waiting for, to be full strength on defense. And, you're going into Miami this time of the year. It's still hot as hell down there. It's still hot as hell down there. They got to fight cramps. They got to fight travel. They got to just fight the elements and everything. And the Dolphins just bought it. If we had any questions about Tua, it's time to stop asking them, because this is what we have in front of us. Because I told someone a few weeks ago, I said, you're looking at Miami. You have to pick your poison, because you can't double Tyreek. You can't double Jalen. I don't know what's going on with the run game. No one's paying any attention. And then you got, big boy tight end Mike Gesicki, prime red zone target. So you really have to pick your poison when it comes to that. My other surprise team is in the AFC South division, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They went in there and gave the Chargers on the road all they can handle.
Statement game right there.
Yeah, statement game. Yeah, B-Live picked them to win the AFC South, and B-Live, from the looks of it, man, they might just they might make it, they might make it look good. They might make it look good. They might make it look right. Disappointment, man. The Colts, man. I thought the Colts would have been given more an effort this season.
Yeah, but then they reversed that trend on Sunday. I mean, they couldn't beat Houston, but then they beat the Chiefs, who looked like Super Bowl Chiefs the first 2 weeks. I mean, this is confusing to me.
I thought at this point in the season, the Colts would have been at least 2-1.
I agree.
Not 1-1-1.
Yeah. I disagree. There's a reason why I picked the Jaguars. I wasn't impressed with the Colts last year. The Jaguars took them out of the playoffs last season, and then everybody said, "Oh, Matt Ryan is going to come in and save the." When has Matt Ryan done anything good outside of the Super Bowl, which was wonderful. He did great. Phenomenal. Until they stopped. They kept throwing the ball. I don't understand. I don't know what. Matt Ryan has never been. I've never been a believer in Matt Ryan. I believe he had the MVP one year. I just didn't. He's he's on the other side of his career. I don't know.
I'll give you that. But we're talking about the Colts team last year that was really good with a really bad quarterback. Matt Ryan, you still have to consider being an upgrade over Carson Wentz. I just thought he had to be decent as a plug and play because the Colts defense was pretty good last year. The run game is obviously there with the Colts, and they had a couple of good receivers, a couple of good weapons. So I thought that Matt Ryan was not necessarily going to be like an MVP candidate, but a stability for that team. He started to remind me a little bit of the late Drew Bledsoe late in his career, a guy that had been good with a strong arm early and is kind of coasting out on fumes. Not very mobile, still throws a nice ball when protected, but certainly he's been a little bit disappointing early to me. And I understand what you're saying, B, that your expectations for him were not as high as the public's, so to speak.
My expectation for the Colts were the same expectation I had for the Broncos that people were raving about, but they are somehow 2-1, which still blows my mind.
Because are you guys? Would you agree with me? I'm a little bit surprised that the Raiders are 0-3 out of all the teams in that division.
Oh yeah,
I would not expected them to be 0-3. No. I thought they would be at least have a win on the board right now.
Something's not meshing. Something I would have thought. I don't know if it's play calling. I knew the defense was going to be on the weaker side, but something with them. I thought their offense would be high powered, and I'm not seeing it at all.
Yeah, so, they're not clicking yet, and their coach is an offensive guru, so to speak. So they're something at this point is definitely not meshing, as you would say. I would agree with that, but I was expecting it to.
Scottie D, he wears a visor indoors and he walks like an angry 12-year-old.
He does wear a visor inside, doesn't he?
Yeah, indoors.
Kind of reminds me of a guy who used to coach South Carolina a few years back. Remember that guy?
He was outside though.
Spurrier.
He was outside though. He had a reason to wear his.
He didn't wear that on in any indoor games. He would not wear that in a dome. I don't know. He may have. I don't know.
When he coached Florida, he may have when we won championships with them. He might have did it there, but South
Carolina. How many football teams have a dome in college?
What is it? North Dakota State. Where did Carson Wentz?
They didn't play them.
Syracuse and LSU, maybe. No, LSU has their own.
LSU's outside. Yeah,
they're definitely outside.
Georgia,
the Carrier Dome, and that's it.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
moving on from Spurrier and his visor,
we have digressed.
Yeah, we got sidetracked there.
Yeah. We are. Woo. All right.
Josh McDaniels does look a little childish. I'll give you that. He looks a little funny with that.
Yeah, but it's just I'm like you guys, man. I don't know what the hell is going on in Vegas. I just can't quite put it together, man. I just can't quite put it together.
That should be my surprise because I was the one that picked the Raiders to win the division, and it's looking like I am, as you said earlier, Eddy, wrong, and some more wrong. So, I knew there was something we wanted to bring up about football outside of the game a little bit. And there's something going on in Mississippi or something like that. That the Pulse is begging for the media outlets to talk about. We're not a media outlet, but hey, screw it.
Here. We got Brett Farve getting involved in a scandal in the state of Mississippi as far as funneling funds from the state welfare to build a volleyball arena at his alma mater, Southern Miss, where his daughter plays at. To our listeners and viewers in Sports Bros podcast, we try to stray away from politics as much as possible. So when we're talking about this subject, we're going to go off the classic premise of right is right and wrong is wrong. So Scottie D, what are your thoughts on the whole Brett Farve funneling money situation?
It doesn't look good. There have been $8 million of misappropriated funds that were intended for welfare recipients, and the state of Mississippi is suing 38 people organizations, and he's part of that. And at first, the first part of the story I was hearing was that he didn't have really the knowledge of where the money was coming from and what was going on. And now we're starting to see more of the story unfold. It almost looked like he was trying to be a hero and get this volleyball court built, and he kept lobbying for it. And it was at the former Governor Bryant, I believe, was the one that was. It seemed like he was trying to divert his attention away from it. I just briefly saw some emails or some text messages, and he didn't want to get himself in trouble. He didn't want to, so they knew this was wrong, but Favre continued to pursue it. It sounds like. Even had a what do you want to do? A second type of sports facility after the volleyball deal. But Brett Favre's made so much money in his career, and why not go into your own pockets for this kind of thing? And also, I think BLive, wasn't there also an instance where he was paid $1 million to do like a speaking engagements that he didn't do, if I'm not mistaken, and. I don't know. I know that it seems like little pieces of the story are starting to come out little at a time. The story is not completely unfolded yet, but this is a bad look for Brett Farve, because if all this stuff is pointing at guilty, that's a really guilty thing to be guilty of, is trying to put these sports and status over the poorest state in the country. I mean, these people in Mississippi, these welfare recipients that this money is intended for, it's not life-changing for them. It's not going to make them richer, make them live comfortably, but it's to help them. I mean, these are people that are unfortunate and need some help. And if that's where the money's coming from, then Brett Favre, shame on you, buddy. I mean, this is good. This could lay a lick into his reputation that I don't know if he comes back from. Go ahead, B.
It'll lay a lick. His reputation should be donezo. I don't even want to hear his name anymore. I was actually about to buy me some Copperfit because I'm old and out of shape. But if they according to them, he's still a stand-up guy, and they're gonna keep ties with Brett Favre. I just don't understand it. I'm gonna sit right here and I'm gonna say it like this. The fact that government officials and stuff like that have the ability to do so. That I guarantee you this isn't the first instance. I guarantee you that money has been, let's just slide this over here, let's market as this, let's turn it into that, everything like that. But here's the kicker, here's the big thing I want to point out. I'm gonna get away from the dollar figures because it really doesn't matter. The money was spent the wrong way. Brett Favre knew, and he tried to say he did. That's all. That's where I'm at right there. You got caught with your hand in the cookie jar and then lied about it. I don't care about anything else. You can spit numbers at me. You can tell me where the money was supposed to go to, which is even worse because you knew where the money was coming from, and you put it upon yourself to be like, "Hey, it's okay. I'm Brett Favre." He used his own status. Like, here's another one that throws in $1.1 million that they paid for him to come and promote Families First for Mississippi. So they paid him as opposed to taking that $1.1 million to feed those families that are struggling. For him to come down and show his face so he could take pictures of, I don't get it. I don't understand. This is just mind blowing to me, and it just what exactly was he trying to accomplish? Where is the money he made over the course of his career? Why is he using state funds, and why is the state allowing him to do so? And even at the point, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. I want to put this out there because we do have a little bit of a responsibility having a platform that we do to call what's wrong is wrong, and this is absolutely 100% wrong. And I hope this exposes even more ridiculousness that goes on when it comes to the budgets of our states, our cities, our counties, where money is supposed to go to help people. So thank you, Brett Farve, for putting the face on what is probably a much bigger problem than we ever thought it was. Thank you, Brett Farve, for that. You piece of all right, Eddie. Cool.
All right, I'm gonna get you because I feel the heat all the way up in good old Cleveland. I look at it like this. It's just sad. It's just sad that you stoop to this level in order to build a freaking volleyball arena. I'm pretty sure the state has a budget for stuff like this if it's a state-ran, university. At least you think they would, but you just take your name and your notoriety. Well, here we go, and what am I going to do? And I'm going to try to go on this whole good boy tour. Brett Farve, like B-Live said, like Scottie D said, it's just wrong. You got busted with your hand in the cookie jar, and it's sad. Like, you mean to tell me like you can't use your notoriety to raise this money? You know what I mean? Your notoriety to raise this money. Hell, go find you and some other notable Mississippi figures from that area, and y'all get together, use your notoriety, and raise the money. A benefit dinner, the boosters, this, that, that kind of stuff. Like, what I have in that? Now we're just going to take some money that's there. We're going to give to the poorest state in the union, Mississippi, and build this nice plush volleyball arena while people in your state are suffering. They don't know when they're going to get their next meal. You got a crisis in Jackson, Mississippi, with the water where it's not all that great. So not only do you have that, you got Brett Farve stealing money from the state, and it's just not a good look.
And he's worth $100 million. That's his net worth, $100 million.
So he has the money.
Yeah.
He has some. I mean, I don't know how much of that's liquid, but he has some. He's not poor. He's got money.
Yeah,
they say he earns approximately $7 million a year through endorsements and investments and other types of income. That's what I'm seeing reported. Yeah. So that what are the other types of, not only that, but then he took a picture of his junk. Send a picture of his junk.
We are moving on from Brett Farve. I'm gonna Amtrak this thing. You stop.
But he should never send a picture of his junk to that girl in New York.
What should also never happen? I'm gonna say this because I'm a segue. What should also never happen? ESPN, while we're watching college football all Saturday, is you should not be cutting off college football the split screen. Aaron Judge not hitting his 61st home run.
Oh, I disagree.
You disagree? Stop it. You and your college football antics are blasphemy. We didn't want to watch that. We'll watch the highlights afterwards. Guess what? If we wanted to see the 61st home run, we'd watch the actual game.
You're sharing sports history. I mean, that's
no. ESPN took it upon itself. We'd have watched the game if we wanted to see that. We were watching our football. That's what we wanted to watch. Nothing against Aaron Judge. I want to see it when it happens. I want to see the highlights. You're going to have all kinds of footage on it. I want to be able to celebrate it. We're going to put a graphic together. Congratulations, Aaron Judge. It'll be more meaningful when he gets his 62nd, but he's got to get his 61st first. But that's a whole nother story within itself.
See, the 61st first.
Split the 62nd one off. No, actually, don't even do that. If I want to see the 61st and the 62nd, I'll watch the games. Either way, keep me with my college football.
It's a historic moment with B-Live. I was right. Albert Pujols was going to hit his 700.
Somebody did hit the milestone.
I'm right. I am right.
Yeah, I wish they would have shown that. I wish I would have seen that live. I wish somebody would have split screened it for me so I could have seen it.
Where did he hit it? Did he hit it in LA? It was in LA, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Dave Roberts, they said, jumped off the bench when he did it because he was happy for him because he had spent a year with the Dodgers organization. Look, Pujols, I think at the All-Star break was batting like 190 something. Yeah. His bat has pretty much been dead for the better part of the last couple of years. I mean, he had a steady decline over the years. It wasn't like he completely fell off the map, but this is exciting. He's now hit, I think, 21 home runs, 22 home runs this season or something. Mm-hmm. And when we brought this up a month ago, B-Live brought this up I want to say it was like early August. He's at that point needed, I think, like 13, 14, 15, something like that. And I didn't think he was going to do it based on how his bat had been. I mean, yeah, at the All-Star game, he hit a bunch of home runs, but that's because that's the home run derby. That's what you're supposed to do. And you get them served up. But guys, between these two guys, between Aaron Judge and Pujols, it's kind of giving me a little bit of a feeling that we had back in the late 90s, early 2000s, because you went from the home run chase with McGwire and Sosa, which was so exciting. I know I know about the ramifications that have come down since then, but at the time, that season was super exciting. Then you had not long after that, Barry Bonds and his chase of McGwire's record, and then Barry Bonds and his chase of Hank Aaron. So we had these like historic home run seasons to watch this kind of stuff. A lot of people throw that out, and these are more meaningful. People think this is more meaningful to beat Maris because this is a non-steroid guy, Aaron Judge, and it's an American League record and a Yankee record. So that's that. And we don't even care about record when it comes to Pujols. We just wanted to see somebody else to get to that 700 club. Just to be in the same rarefied air with Bonds, Hank Aaron, and Babe Ruth. And he did it. And man, that was really cool to see. I'm rooting for both of these guys to hit them, because if Judge falls short, which it would be miraculous at this point if he falls short of Roger Maris, he's going to hit a bunch of home runs still in his career. Yeah. But we already know that Pujols is at the end of the line. So it was almost like a race against time. Will he get this done before the end of this season? And if one or two of these pitchers do him a cookie, I don't care. The guy's been raking his whole career. And if you want to throw him a cookie and say, here it is, hit it out if you can, and he does, so be it. I'm okay with that. Sometimes baseball is meant to be fun and not a business. So I've had a lot of fun following both of these guys.
Yeah. Now the million-dollar question, the multi-million-dollar question is, where will Aaron Judge be next season? Because the Yankees haven't paid the man yet.
I still think it's going to be New York. I can't see them letting him walk. And I know the price tag can be astronomical, but I have a hard time believing that they're going to let him go, especially with what he's done this season to elevate the entire franchise. I mean, this is a team that's been, their offense has been just pulled, dragged down by injuries, and he's kind of been the one that's carried the team on his back. And he's been a better hitter. If you watch, he's been patient to play. I know he's dying to hit that home run. He's still taking walks, hitting doubles, and helping his team win.
Yeah, you really have to be smart about that. So shout out to Aaron Judge and Albert Pujols, man, for giving us that feeling again. Pretty soon,
crown.
Yes, pretty soon, guys, we're going to have our guy, Hunter Simboli, back to talk some baseball, because the playoffs are right around the corner.
Playoffs?
We can't win a game. They diddly pooed anyways. That's it for the NFL and a little bit of Major League Baseball talk. Coming up next, Be Live Top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, feel off. Coming at you. Ladies and gentlemen, and the rest of y'all out there, cats, dogs, monkeys, tiger cats, Pikachus, flying squirrels, and ninjas. This is the Be Live Top 5.
You know what time it is. It's my special segment, college football through and through, from a fan's perspective, the Be Live Top 5. This week is coming with a little twist, because since someone decided to be a troll last week with every time I put up my top 5, don't look back, you know who I'm talking about. That guy over there, the money man. Money man.
I'm looking dead at you. I'm looking dead at you right now.
Eddie Cool.
It's coming with a twist. There wasn't really much that changed with the top 5. I'm gonna just throw it out to you real quick. You can talk about it amongst yourselves. Georgia's always gonna stay number 1. Number 2, I moved Ohio State up to 2nd. Number 3, Alabama. Michigan, I'm a little concerned you had trouble with Maryland, so I'm going to put you at number 4. And I'm going to bring back Clemson to my top 5 with a grueling double overtime victory against Wake Forest. Clemson is back in my top 5. DJU, I believe, is back. So what our problem was with our defensive backs, our secondary. had 3 DBs that were true freshmen in that game. So we couldn't stop a nosebleed. And that slow little RPO with Wake Forest gave us a little trouble. That's what I'm not here for that, though. I want to throw a little piece out there. This week, being inspired by the money man, Scottie D, because these polls, preseason, these early season polls, don't mean a thing because you may not have that swang. So I'm going to do everybody a favor and introduce the Be Live not top 5. The 5 teams this week after week 4 that were rated really high and did not meet up to expectations. Starting off with number 5, Kentucky. You're still up there. You're still in the top 10, but woo, yeah, a little struggle bus. A little concern for you. I wonder how long y'all can stay up there. This was Northern Illinois, not the strongest team out there. Y'all struggled with them just a little bit. I'm wondering how long y'all can stay up there because y'all do have still the juggernaut of the SEC thing. The SEC isn't as strong as what people think. They're top heavy, but I say what I said here, there, whatever. Number 4, I'm gonna need the West Coast to get it together because y'all got to show me something. And right now, your heir apparent to be that team that's gonna rise to the top on the West Coast is the University of Southern California. I mean, y'all got the new coach, you got the new high flying quarterback, USC. This is supposed to be your time. Oregon State and Corvallis gave y'all some trouble. Southern Cal, I'm telling you, is going to be shit. I just don't see it. I still don't see it from the Pac-12. I don't see a team rising above the others. You're supposed to be able to just handle your business. But we shall see. Number 3. Daggone it, Texas. Daggone it. We were rooting for y'all because y'all beat Alabama. Y'all beat them. They should not have won. That was a safety, intentional ground. I'm gonna keep saying that. But with that grit, y'all knew y'all were that close with one of the arguably best teams in the country. They were number 1 at the time. They were number 1 until y'all did what y'all did, even though you didn't win. This was supposed to be bulletin board locker room material. Hey, we can hang with the big dogs. And then Texas A&M comes in. I'm not Texas A&M, Texas Tech. Texas Tech. This is not a good look if you're going into the SEC, my dude. This is not how it's supposed to be done. Nope. Texas, you're coming to play the big dogs. You gotta put the other dogs to rest. And that segues into number 2, which is a perfect segue because when it comes to another team that's going into the SEC, and I gave them all the props in the world, put them into my Be Live top 5 with the former coach of mine, all roads lead to Dabo. I put you on a pedestal, and you let me down. Boomer, Sooner, Oklahoma, what are you doing to me? What are you doing? Kansas State. These are the ones that you're supposed. How are y'all 0-3 the last 3 times y'all played Kansas State?
It's not good.
What is going on, Coach V? My dude, I am hyping you up with my friends that are Oklahoma fans. Y'all, I thought this was gonna be, hey, y'all got the road less traveled straight to the playoff. Woo. Now you just open the door for Baylor to sneak right back on in there. So if they even make it at all, because now you got these juggernauts of the Big Ten and the SEC to contend with. Because guess what? When it comes to my number one, I've been begging. I've been pleading with everything in my heart and soul, because everybody knows I'm a diehard Clemson fan. All roads lead to Dabo. And I thought, with the pickup of a new athletic director that came from Clemson, with the new coach that came from Oregon, that this team would make their return to glory. And I'm talking about, this is a team that's supposed to elevate the ACC back to where it's supposed to be at, to be competitive. And I'm talking about the U. Middle Tennessee State.
They're good. They're real good.
Middle Tennessee State.
They're good.
The Blue Raiders. What is a Blue Raider? I ain't gonna get into
Blue
it.
refers to the color.
Stop it immediately. You're not gonna do that this week. No, we're not gonna do that. But
Raiders raid people.
God. That's what they did. That's what they did. This was a home game for Miami. Coral Gables, Miami. I don't know where they played. The Hard Rock Stadium, whatever. Y'all let not only yourselves down, but the entire ACC. I can hear the chirping now. The ACC is weak. Clemson played Miami. There's not really much of a threat. And they've already been talking about Notre Dame. They talked about North Carolina. They almost lost that. This did not help at all.
No.
They gave up 408 yards through the air to Chase Cunningham. Blue Raider quarterback, 408 yards.
16.5 yards per attempt. Not catch, per attempt.
So they're just not playing no offense. No, I mean, no defense.
No. Not I know of. I mean, just I got nothing. Miami.
That's like
Mario Cristobal, Dan Radakovich, do better. Whatever. Like all this hype. Everybody say, oh, Miami's going to dethrone Clemson. I can't tell it. Because this is the second time they done disappointed us this season. But it's okay. It's all right. Guess how does Thanos say it? We'll just have to do it ourselves. Because this week coming up is a top 10 matchup in Death Valley, where the number 10 NC State Wolfpack comes into Clemson to play the number 5 Clemson Tigers. A back-to-back top 25 matchup will show the world what Clemson truly is. Let's get it. Let's go. Now, Scottie D, you can bring your
College
thoughts.
Game Day is coming to visit us. College Game Day is going to be there Saturday.
Here you go with this us stuff. We've gone through this before when we've had our little chats during the week. I will cut this clean, smooth off.
I'm nervous. We beat Wake in a double overtime. We got by him, and now we have to do it again against the Wolfpack. College Game Day is coming to Clemson. All roads lead to Dabo. I'm excited for our team on a Saturday. Hey, I tell you, I like your top 5. I like your not top 5. I guess we may have to start paying attention to Tennessee at this point too. They're at 11, and they have beat a number 20 Gators team in Pitt on the road. I mean, they're starting to put together a little bit of a resume here. They're starting to rack it up. I didn't think they were going to be that good, but evidently they are team just have to start paying attention to a little bit.
I think Tennessee actually moved up. I think they're number 9, either number
maybe.
10 when it comes to, let me pull that up, because I normally don't even pay attention to the rankings because they're just wrong and they just do whatever they want to. But my rankings are coming dangerously close because I keep trying to give teams a chance. And so, yeah, Tennessee.
They're 8 in the top AP, top 25, and 9 in the coach poll. Yeah, so you're right. They have moved into the top 10.
Giving the
Oklahoma and where's Coastal Carolina? Where's Coastal? Where are the Chanticleers? Because those boys, they put one on. Who they play this? Was it Georgia State or something?
Yeah, it was Georgia State.
Yeah.
That was a Thursday night game.
Yep, they put a Thursday thumping on it, man. I'm telling you, man. The Chanticleers, man, for a program that's only been around be like 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good. And how about the Sun Belt Conference? The Sun Belt's like, you know what, you want to give us a $1.5 million? Cool, we'll come on there and beat your ass and take your money. Because that's what they've been doing.
Very good.
They've been beating people. Yeah.
Coastal Carolina got one vote in the coaches poll.
Oh, they got to get in there.
Yeah, that's one more vote than South Carolina gets. So Coastal Carolina is the second best team.
Wow.
In, South Carolina. All right, cool. Good talk. I had to do it.
I know you had to. I ain't tripping because we beat Charlotte this weekend. So I'll take wins how I can get them. The Panthers won. The Gamecocks won.
Just revert back to the famous TikTok video. Turn my swag on. That's what your coach was doing at the beginning of the season. Yeah. Y'all got your swag on, right?
Yeah.
Y'all dead last in the SEC with that swag. My bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. I keep going with it.
Hello. It's about that time.
Is it Button?
I got Button on the line. She's ready to go. Yeah, we got Button on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it for the Be Live Top 5. But guess what time it is, fellas?
It's time. He about to cut me off the show for real.
Talk to Button.
It's time for our favorite portion of the show. You guessed it, the choices of the voices. With that being said, hey, yo, Button, hit it. Choices of the voices coming up next. Thank you, Button. I appreciate you calling. Choices of the voices coming up next.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and Scottie D. Get ready. Here it comes, your favorite part ever. So lovely, Miss Button, for introducing our favorite portion of the show. You guessed it, the choices of the voices. I'm going to tell you how we do this. We ask you the question, you give us the answer. We read it back and just have some good old fun, good old clean fun here on the Sports Bros podcast. With that being said, Scottie D, what's on tap for this week's choices of the voices?
We are asking what NFL player, past or present, comes to mind when you're speaking of someone who's known more for his personality or off the field antics than his performance on the field. A little bit of a style over substance, a little bit of reputation over what's going on the playing field. And Eddy, we had some very interesting responses.
And what's my favorite phrase? More sizzle than steak, or more steak than sizzle.
Yeah.
One of those things.
Yeah, steak does sound good. You gotta get you a Wagyu steak, fellas. All right. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's get into it. All right. We got Trey Dizzle. He says, so one player who comes to mind played mediocre for most of his career and really a forgotten player for what he did on the field. He was replaced permanently by a backup. He said, too much to read on air, LOL. He even sucked at using his real name, Rain Prescott. Yeah.
Yeah, this actually a pretty terrible answer because it's really not. It's not at all what we're going for. Just
God awful. Oh no! What was in parentheses? That was my edited version because I wasn't about to type all of that. That's it. I was like too much to read on the air. Trey Dizzle. Yes, we get it. We've allowed you this avenue, and it's hilarious. Yeah. It's something we always get a kick of talking about because you do truly engage with us on this show. But man, come on. He don't do that much off the field that much. It's not much antics. This is all his on-field performance.
Yeah.
He might be more sizzled than steak because he's not been doing that well, but it's all been on the field. So not in the true nature of this question. So therefore, you know what that means. Penalty box.
Get in there.
Get in there.
All right. So shout out to the penalty box, the longest running gag on this here podcast. All right. We got Tom Wynn. He says Dak Prescott for sure. The hell is going on?
I think he was just giving Trey the name of the guy.
Okay.
He chimed in. Guess what? He gets put on the air. Especially if Eddy Cool tasked me this week to get the answer. So I could have left that out. Nah, you want to tag along? You want to piggyback? Go for it. You're on the air.
We got the doing. All right. JR said T.O., but he had great production. And my thing is, why hasn't ESPN talked about Brett Farve like they talked about Vic, Cap, or T.O.? If you listen to the early portion of the show, we did talk about Brett Farve. ESPN is ESPN. They do what they do.
But T.O. is actually like the perfect answer for this question because he was one of the greatest receivers of all time. But when you think of T.O., you think of so many things other than what he did on the field. And this guy had one of the legendary Super Bowl performances. But that's not the first thing you think of when you think of T.O. You think of so many other things. And that's the shame of it.
Popcorn, sit-ups in the driveway. That's my quarterback.
Yeah, all kind of stuff.
I'm a little lost. I'm a little lost because I would understand that if he didn't have a Hall of Fame career. He's a Hall of Famer. That's where I'm just like,
no doubt about it. But that's how much of an a-hole he was beyond that he can still be in a Hall of Fame and be recognized more for that other stuff. And matter of fact, he didn't even go to where the Hall of Fame is to get into the Hall of Fame.
He did do that.
That's his own doing. He did all that stuff.
So. Yeah, he did that.
That is a little a-holish. You get voted in, and you can't show up to get your gold jacket. What'd you go to Middle Tennessee State?
Yeah.
I forget what the actual reasoning for it. There was something about like the ceremony or something like that.
He was mad. He was in the first ballot Hall of Famer. He should have been on the first ballot, so he was angry.
Lord.
You're in there. All right. You're in there. You didn't have to wait like Drew Pearson. You're in there. Yeah. All right. Sandy Heinerman says, my first thought was Joe Willie Namath.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
He was a lot of flash. He actually did have some good years. It's not like this guy couldn't play, but you just think of commercials and the guarantee,
the fur jacket,
the fur coat, the guarantee, all that stuff with him. And one of my favorite moments in the history of sports, the sideline interview with Susie Colbert.
Yeah.
That's one of my all-time favorites.
I think I love you.
I want to kiss you.
I want to kiss you.
That damn Joe was on air. He was nipping before that. Come here.
They made what was that one dude that was making those funny videos of like interviews or whatever? Like he mashed Herm Edwards. You play to win the game. He mashed up Allen Iverson. Practice. Talk about practice. And he put in Joe Namath. And I gotta look up that video because that was just pure art form. And that's what we remember Hollywood Joe for.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember a thing he did on the football. I mean, yes, it was a long time ago. Scott, you'd have more of a memory than that, but then again, you'd have less of a memory because but
save that joke for Uncle Max because Uncle Max.
Wait a minute.
Really?
See, I didn't do it this time, Uncle Max. You're listening. I didn't do this. I was picking on him. He went to you. I didn't do it.
He was an Alabama guy and also segue into Uncle Max's answer. You see, he has an answer on this category as well. Do you see his answer here?
Yes, he said Ocho Cinco.
That's a shame because people forget how good that guy was.
I remember
because he's on the sideline with a Hall of Fame jacket and he's running he jumps into the stands with a camera and he's doing like Saturday Night Live sketches instead of being a serious football player. And he was really good. And at one point it was like him and Carson Palmer and Rudy Johnson were like the upcoming triplets. Like, they were going to be like this really good AFC juggernaut and it just never happened. But Ocho Cinco, Chad Ocho Cinco. And the fact we're calling him Chad Ocho Cinco, he legally changed his name so he could put that on the back of his jersey.
And let me put it for all the kids out there that are taking Spanish. Ocho Cinco does not translate to 85. That's ochenta cinco. Yeah. Ochenta y cinco. Ocho Cinco is literally 8-5, and it's never referred. Nobody ever speaking Spanish ever does that for 8-5. Five. They don't never do that. So it made 0 sense then, makes 0 sense now. Chad Ocho, it's legal. He went to the Social Security Department to change his name legally to Chad Ochocinco. And that makes him more ridiculous than Meta World Peace. What is his name now? He it's something else now, but if this was an NBA question, that would be the answer for him.
I don't know. His name might be Slippery D Fish Grease for all we know.
And then Ochocinco raced a horse. I think that's how he closed out his career. He raced a horse.
He did race a horse, and
were there answers on the other page, guys? Did you have
I pulled them from yours and from the Sports Pros family. So Trey Dizzle was from yours. So I believe I got
so far all those were on mine. So what else you got a couple more there, Eddie?
Yep, I got some more. We got Josh.
We
got Josh Becker. He said anyone that doesn't think of Antonio Brown or T.O. is high as giraffe stuff.
Yeah. Okay, that's a great point because I had completely even forgot about AB.
Yeah. He's doing some otherworldly stuff now. He has a dance. I mean, he has a dance.
Okay, and I'm gonna put this out there. Every single one of you people out there, I'm gonna say it as blunt and disrespectful as I possibly can. Any of you people out there that are actually endorsing Antonio Brown's rap career, stop it. Stop it immediately. It is absolute dumpster juice, garbage, trash. Oscar the Grouch wouldn't even stay where his rap career is at. It is horrible. Stop it. I know I may sound old. I don't give a flying. You know what? It's garbage. It is absolute manure. And that is worse than manure. Manure is actually good for something. It's fertilizer for plants. Antonio Brown's music is good for absolutely nothing. Stop it. Producers, whoever endorses them, the sound engineers, what are y'all thinking? This is, oh my God.
All right, let me amtrack this thing because B-Live just went nuclear. All right, so here we go. Tony Bogan, he also said Antonio Brown, he had a talent to be a Hall of Famer before he lost his head. See Vontez Burfict. All right. Magdalene Herring, she said Chad Ochocinco Johnson. The obvious was already stated with Antonio Brown. And she said also Aaron Hernandez. Ooh, she's a Patriots fan, by the way.
Yeah, that was a sad case. That's nuts.
Yeah, that was
we will honestly never ever refer to Aaron Hernandez's production on the field because it can't be too much about that street life. Can't do it.
That life of termite can bite your ass. Thomas Hovis, he said Chad Johnson. That's what I was thinking of for real.
And I was segueing into there was another answer about that life.
That's coming up shortly. Heath Brady, he said AB and T.O. both are wild. T.O. is calming down, but some because of his age. Imagine if social media. Imagine if T.O. had social media. No, he said, imagine if we had social media for T.O.'s entire career. Straight up show. Wild, crazy, ridiculous. Matty Ice Martin Tracy says Manti Te'o currently more for his fishing prowess than his on-field talent. And then Patrick Wilson said the segue that B-Live mentioned, Ray Caruth. Little Ray. Yeah, Ray Caruth.
The thing about it is he will actually be known more for the original Kings of Comedy than he actually will for what he did off the field. Because not too many people know exactly what happened off the field that like basically landed him in jail. I want to say he's actually in jail about a couple hours away from where I stay in Fayetteville.
You talking about Ray Caruth?
Yeah.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, he out.
Yeah, okay. He did get out.
Yeah,
I think I might have mentioned something like that, but
he's been out for I think 2 years now. Yeah, but he's down there right where you were saying. Yeah, for sure.
How did Steve Harvey say? And you took your ass to Nashville. You got the FBI
looking for your crazy ass in Nashville. Yeah. What you doing? Yeah. All right. So with that being said,
and did somebody? Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought somebody also mentioned OJ. Was that on that list somewhere too? I thought somebody.
I thought somebody did.
I think I saw it, but
I thought I somewhere somebody. Yeah, I can't remember who put, but I thought I saw somebody put OJ. But also the Manti Te'o thing, hadn't thought of that one. That's a great answer because that's really all that dude is known for. His NFL career never really launched anywhere near his catfish career.
Yeah, you ain't lying about that. Yep. Shout out to Trey. Yeah, shout out to Trey Dizzle, Tom Wynn, Uncle Max, Jr., Sandy Heineman, Josh, Max Baker, Tony Bogan, Magdalene Herring, Thomas Hobus, Heath Brady, Martin Tracy, Patrick Wilson for their participation in this week's choices of the voices. Scottie D, who you got?
Let me defer to B Live. I'm not sure where you're going with. I don't want to step on your toes on any of these. So, sometimes I have a feeling I know where you might be headed, and I don't know this one. I want to hear what you have to say on this one first. All
right, I have no problem with that. I have no problem. I think we have different answers on this one, but okay. I don't know how. Sometimes I don't know how your brain operates, but I'm just going to throw out some of his career numbers and accomplishments. This man just happened to be a 3-time college football champion. Technically, it's only 2, but the third one he was on the team until shortly being suspended. But then he's a Heisman winner. He's an NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's an NFL MVP. He holds multiple records in the NFL. Most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback. Most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in a season. Most rushing attempts by a quarterback. Has 194 touchdowns, 32,000 passing yards, 5,628 rushing yards, 75 rushing touchdowns. And what the majority of people across the world, outside of those few faithful people in Charlotte, North Carolina and surrounding areas, keep pounding, most people will always remember him for stealing a laptop, for getting kicked out of school.
Interesting.
For all of his dancings, dab on him, and all of his outlandish and crazy outfits.
Yeah.
And that goes down to Cameron Terrell Newton. And it's sad. Mm-hmm. I can't stand it. That's what people are going to remember him for. Because I think he had a storybook career, college and pro. Heisman, national champion, brought Auburn out of the ashes. 15-1 with the Panthers, took them to the Super Bowl until headhunting and Peyton Manning. Well, people are going to remember him for his antics, for his dancing.
Good answer. I hadn't thought of that one at all either. That's
all of the Superman.
Yeah. Wow. That's a pretty good answer.
Yeah. It is what it is. Eddie Cool, what you got?
I'm going to have to roll with the general consensus and say Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, for a period of time through the mid-2010s, it was Megatron, Antonio Brown, and everybody else. When Megatron retired, it was Antonio Brown until that hit from Vontaze Burfict. Just changed up everything. It seemed like it affected him so much that he wasn't normal ever since. Because think about it, he had like 6 seasons of 1,000 yards and just terrorized the league and came out of nowhere. I'm like, who in the hell is Antonio Brown? And then he got that Lego Wesley Snipes haircut from Demolition Man. And now he's got the dance, like B-Live said, he's rapping. And
no, that's not rap. You're not going to disrespect other people that actually rap. You are a lyricist. You're a rapper.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown is not. So don't even disrespect yourself by saying that Antonio Brown is a rapper. I'm not going to allow you to do it.
Yeah.
His first album went double baby poop. I'm not talking about the solid kind. I'm talking runny wet that only the premier diaper brands will be able to keep and soak up. Because if you buy the cheap ones from Walmart, he's running down the baby leg and just messing up outfits and stuff like that. Antonio Brown being called a rapper, don't do it to yourself. I apologize.
Scottie D, real quick, who you got, man?
What's next week's? What's next week's? Yeah, that's right. He did defer. I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of lefty quarterbacks that both qualify. I put the picture up of Tebow doing the kneel because you just think of that more than you think of Tebow's career because it wasn't that good. And Michael Vick's performance often overshadowed by the dog fighting thing. But I got two guys, both from the 80s, whose style and substance overshadowed their careers. One was the Boz. Brian Bosworth came into the NFL as the next beast, this defensive beast, and he had the mohawk and the movies, and he had this reputation as just being like this world killer. But also during the 80s was Jim McMahon, the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, who was doing the video and the sunglasses, the punky QB known as McMahon, and the headbands with the different sayings on them every game. And during that Super Bowl run, he played the part to a T. He was the superstar, but he never really had that great of a career. He had a very injury-plagued career, and he was a good quarterback, not a great quarterback, but he was a perfect fit for that Chicago Bears team during that year. A team that I think most people believed should have been a Super Bowl champion more than just 1 year. But Boz and Jim McMahon both fit this question's answer to a T. Now, for next week, any level, high school, college, pro, what is the best trick play you've ever seen succeed on a football field? Best trick play.
Okay. I like it.
I like that. All right. So
that'll give us something to talk about next week, Eddie. Cool.
Omboruski.
The butt punt. Don't do that again. Don't ever do that again. Mark Sanchez, Dan Orlovsky, you guys are not off the hook. All right. That's it for Choice of the Voices. Coming up next is Pepper. And I told you, girl, one time, and I'm going to tell you till you blue in the face, don't sneeze on me and keep them boogers to yourself. Round of Pepper coming right up here on the Sports Bros Podcast. Is that a horse? Yeah.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
All right, you heard the woman. It's time for us to go home and get what I call the hell up out of here. But before we go, we got another round of pepper for you. You know how we do it. 3 topics, rapid fire style, kind of, sort of, not really, here to engage, enlighten, educate, and entertain, and be 11 from heaven, a.k.a. Micah Parsons. All right, with that being said, I'll go first. On this day in history, back in 1973, one of my favorite guys I love to talk about, Nolan Ryan, strikes out 16 in 11 innings for a record 383 strikeouts of the season. Hey, look, a guy like Nolan Ryan, you can't mess with him. Just ask Robin Ventura. Never forget. I'm pretty sure he got dents in his forehead and everything. He had that old man strength too.
Yeah, he did.
You don't mess with no old dudes. They'll tear your ass up. They'll give you something you can feel. Over to you, Scottie D.
Well, we briefly spoke before coming on air about this sad story in Boston where head coach Ime Udoka got suspended. Forgive me if I said his name wrong. Suspended for a year for an affair he had with an employee within the organization. And all I can say is, man, what a sad statement it is in today's society where you can't even cheat on your fiance without losing your job. Be Live, over to you.
He got suspended. He ain't lost his job yet, but we don't. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Can't even cheat on your fiance anymore. What a sad state of affairs.
The worst part about it is that how does stuff like this get leaked though? That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to figure out. This is some internal stuff that you sweep it, clean in-house, whatever, but. Whatever, it ain't
somebody went to talking. Be like, somebody went to damn talking. That's what happened.
It's one of those things where somebody, not everybody in the organization likes them, and that's it. Yeah, here we go. Well, speaking of organizations and schools and recruiting and gas and what are you thinking? But then again, maybe the superstardom is not what everybody thinks it is. Because, there's been talk forever about what LeBron James' son is going to do, because it still stands as a rule in the NBA that you have to be 1 year removed from graduating from college in order to be eligible to be drafted in the NBA. So there's been rumors of him going overseas, joining the G League, doing this, doing that, and the third. And one very highly touted story was the fact that there's been mentions of Bronny James wanting to go to the Ohio State University. And even to the point of where he was wearing a jersey or an Ohio State jersey, and the story took off like wildfire, even to the point where Ohio State offered Bronny James a scholarship to go to Ohio State. But, it's a big but. Recruiting doesn't last forever. And there's only but so many slots when it comes to basketball, especially being recruited in basketball. If I'm not mistaken, there's only 15 spots on a college roster when it comes to scholarship-wise. And Bronny James might have waited just a little too long because a guy by the name of Tayshaun Chapman, a four-star guard, made his official visit the same weekend as Bronny James, announced his commitment to the program. And according to 11 Warriors, an online publication that covers the Buckeyes exclusively, that likely puts a close on the team's 2023 recruiting class and could leave Bronny James without a roster spot. Bronny James, sorry for you. Ohio State's already filled their team roster. You're not as big as you think you are. Eddy cool the ball.
They're going to start kicking dudes. Get your ass out of here. Bye, bye, bye.
Yes. Get somebody going to end up losing a roster spot, and I want to be there to cover that story. Because you know that's wrong. Exactly. Have that dude walk on. LeBron James can pay his tuition because he's got plenty of money.
Plenty of
it. On. So
your dad's a damn billionaire. Get out of here.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Might take a pepper point. The NFL Pro Bowl. Everybody's favorite in between season football game. All right, so dig this. Something that we've been saying for the longest. The NFL, according to ESPN, as you can see, the NFL replaced the Pro Bowl with the Pro Bowl games, featuring week-long skills competitions and flag football. This should have happened a long time ago. Because towards the end of the season, no one wants to play a football game, especially a meaningless football game. Well, no, they make money, but think about it. You played 18 weeks? You don't want to play another football game. You want to go home, chill, go to the Super Bowl. All right. So the new event will replace the full contact showcase on ESPN.
Full contact.
Yeah, full
when
partial contact when Sean Taylor tore that boy head off. That
was full contact. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, when he tore that boy head off. It will be renamed the Pro Bowl games and will feature AFC and NFC players showcasing their football and non-football skills and challenges over several days. Oh boy. The 2023 games will be held in Vegas, and the flag football game will be held at Allegiant Stadium on February the 5th. Peyton Manning and his productions company will help shape programming and promote the event's content throughout the week. Manning, a 14-time Pro Bowl pick during his Hall of Fame career, will provide his perspective and will also be a part of the coaching staff for the flag football game. Peyton Manning is entertaining. Now that I know that he got something to do with it, I'm going to watch it.
Can it be Peyton versus Eli as the coaches? I would be there.
Might as well.
I'd watch it.
It's entertainment. They're pure gold.
You knew that the Pro Bowl was dead when you had Mac Jones doing the gritty in the end zone last year. You knew that you need to put that straight to bed. You gotta let it go at that point in time.
Yeah. So we're going to see a different look of the Pro Bowl in 2023. Scottie D, over to you.
Long overdue, in my opinion.
Yep.
The President's Cup took place this past weekend, the United States winning 17.5 to 12.5. And prior to the President's Cup getting started, Greg Norman tweeted, "Good luck. It's competition, and I wish everybody the best." Well, while the President's Cup didn't necessarily miss the live golfers, establishing new stars such as Tom Kim and Sebastian Munoz, they had their moments against a United States team that greatly overmatched them. Greg Norman decided to go up and meet with some members of Congress to educate them on the live business model and let them know what's going on as they were filing their antitrust suit against the PGA for anti-competitive behavior. And he went up to meet with them, and the representative from Tennessee actually left. He was not interested at all in hearing that. He's basically saying the sentiment of, we don't really care to get involved. Congress shouldn't be getting involved with billionaires fighting over the game of golf. Representative Chip Roy of Texas says, don't come up here and act like you're doing some great thing while you're pimping $1 billion of Saudi Arabian money in the United States. So Greg Norman's weekend going up on Capitol Hill did not go so well, so to speak. I think they understand, a lot of these guys, that it was a personal vendetta against the PGA, that he's always held a grudge against the PGA. And in response to Greg Norman's tweets of good luck, the President's Cup captain, Trevor Immelman, responded by laughing at him. Bad week for the Shark. Be live. Over to you.
He said by laughing at him.
Whoopsie. All right. Third and no, I do apologize.
Second.
I'm getting ahead of myself because you know what I'm doing this week. I'm taking my third and final pepper point. I'm switching it to my second because there's a reason for that. Because this is going to be my outlandish and crazy pepper point, but I'm saving the third one for something near and dear to my heart. So my second pepper point, my outlandish one, to see what had happened was.
Oh boy.
Monday Night Football, you know, a lot of things going on. You're in the booth, you're announcing games and stuff like that. You're talking, and you know, before you start, before the show started, when I got some food, got some snacks, make sure that you're hydrated, you're nourished and everything, whatnot. And the body has a way of taking those fluids and nutrients and stuff and processing them throughout the body. And see what had happened was is that one by the name of Dan Orlovsky during the broadcast couldn't hold in some of those byproducts of food and drink that he had. And according to Barstool Sports and maybe a lot of people that were watching, he lets out a massive fart on the air live for everyone to hear. I didn't have the chance to catch it, but I read about it. And Dan Orlovsky tweeted out a little bit later, and this will further let me know not to ever try this condiment. It must have been the blue cheese. I guess he was dipping his wings in blue cheese, and that led to the and so see what happened was it happens.
Happens to the best of us,
yeah.
Ski.
I've farted in public, and I've never been on such a stage as Monday Night Football, but I'm the type of person, you smelt it, you dealt it. If I fart, I'm going to own it 100%. And I'm like, oh, man, my bad. I just cleared out this whole area. But, yeah, Dan Orlovsky doesn't handle blue cheese all too well on the air live Monday Night Football. Yeah, Eddy Cool. The ball.
Good old Poots Orlovsky. That's his new nickname, Poots Orlovsky. I haven't done this in a while, but I'll do it. Happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday to Mike Schmidt of the Philadelphia Phillies. Third baseman, NL MVP back in 1980-81, an 86 12-time All-Star. He was born in Dayton, Ohio. So happy birthday to the one, the only, Mike Schmidt. Over to you, Scottie D.
All right, I'm going to stick on the topic of golf as I finish up here for the week. And Tiger Woods was on the course this past weekend. No, not at the President's Cup, but he was caddying this past weekend. Do you guys know who he's caddying for?
Has to be his son.
It was his son, 13-year-old Charlie Woods. who played in the Nota Begay Junior Tournament in Florida. And in the final round, this little dude shot a -4 at 68, and he finished in 4th place for the tournament. Afterwards, his interview, he said, "Dad told me to stay patient. I just played steady golf," which means Dad's also teaching him how to do interviews, because that sounds like a very tigerish kind of thing to say. Those are some huge foot joys to fill for this kid if he's ever going to try to play the game of golf at a high level. You know, very few people make it to any type of tour, but this kid's already shooting at age 13, -4. He almost had an albatross, which is whenever you sink on a par 5, almost nail a shot in 2. He said lipped out, so he ended up with a tap-in eagle. But this kid, it's hard to say he has what it takes at age 13, but he already has a $500 million offer. He's just joined the Live Golf Tour. Be Live, over to you.
Oh, jug, jab. Oh man, my third and final pepper point. As I told you before, I'm switching it up because this is something near and dear to my heart. This past weekend, this past Saturday, I got the chance to celebrate the union of 2 of my very good friends. And the reason why I'm bringing it up on the podcast is I would not be here with my 2 fellows doing this podcast if it wasn't for them opening their home to me at one of my lowest points of my life and allow me to rebuild my life. I would not be where I'm sitting right now. And he's especially my dude, he has supported the show. He's helped me out with employment. He's also been a troll of the highest order when it came to my What Happened Wednesday video. Of the highest order. But I can probably say this on behalf of myself, the money man Scottie D, and the head of creative Eddy Cool. We can present to you Mr. and Mrs. Moshe Sampson. Melody and Moshe Sampson, I love y'all. We love y'all. Congratulations to you both. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of the wedding. So much fun. And I get to say it on the air with my bros here at the Sports Bros podcast. We love you so very much. Go Liverpool. And I'm so incredibly happy for y'all.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you both. To many more years. And I'm going to be the drunk uncle always. Oh, my God. Good times to be had. Congratulations, Melody and Moshe Sampson. Sammy Smokes, yes, sir.
Sammy Smokes. And ladies and gentlemen, that does it for another action-packed episode of the Sports Bros podcast. Thank you very much for listening, watching. We love you. Hang out with us on the Sports Bros family group. Be Live with the game threads. Scottie D with the choice of the voices. Scottie D dancing. And what's in the background?
The next Super Bowl show. Got a little
Rihanna.
Yes, Rihanna. Yes, Lord have mercy. Rihanna is on the Super Bowl show. And I just got a text from Reese Jenkins, late entry for the choice of the voices. He said, T.O. is my pick, or Randy Moss, or Mr. Jumping Jacks, Antonio Brown. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to be posting the question earlier next week for you guys. Thank y'all.
Yep. Anything got to say before we get up out of here?
And in closing,
with that being said, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else. They're greatly appreciated now more than ever. Be a blessing, not a burden. And ladies, if a fella give you a compliment, he just give you a compliment. He ain't really trying to holler at you. Well, he might be, but then again, he just might want to say, you look nice, okay? That's all. Holla. It's been another episode of the Sports Bros podcast. Be Live, you know what to do.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We love you. See you next week. Don't pass out. Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all. Hey, it's Eddy Cool here from the Sports Bros podcast. And do you want some more of the Sports Bros podcast in your life? Wait a minute. Don't answer that. The answer is yes. And I know you want some more of the Sports Bros podcast in your life. Do us a small favor. Go to the description box, click our Linktree link, and you'll see all the links on how to follow the Sports Bros Podcast. Once again, thanks for listening.